Hi folks, and welcome to this short video introducing Biesse's bSoild. We'll have a quick look at some of the other parts of bSuite. So let's just jump straight in. Once you open up to a window that looks something like this. You can see on the screen there your main areas. Along the top here you've got your file operations and view toolbars. Down here we've got our main 6 icons in the toolbox there. And next to that, we've got a whole bunch of other things in the dynamic toolbar that changes as we select the first one. Over here, we've got our geometry machining operations window and our machine operations timeline. And you can see down the bottom here, we also have a toolbar with a whole bunch of different little things that you can select in there. And same along the top here. So overall concepts. In here, we've got our drawing window. So that's where you're going to create geometry and then see what's occurring with it. Up the top here, and I'm not sure how this will show up, we've got a big blue button that enables us to switch between the various machining and operational environments of the software. So this is the job list, which we use for doing machine simulations or operating the machine if we're connected. We've got our nesting operations here. So this is a database of nesting projects, and you can open those projects up and have a look at those. Over on the left-hand side here, we've got the CAD CAM window, which is where we do most of our work. You can also edit your tool database, or you can get in there and change the tooling on the machine and whatnot. So it enables you to switch between the main operational environments. Okay, so in a little bit more detail, let's go through some of these things. Along the top here, we've got our standard file operations, save as. This one here, save a macro, enables you to create a macro and save it. Import export for changing geometry in and out of this to other software packages or sharing it with other creation tools. Some standard window ones, cut, copy, paste, delete, undo, redo. Undo, that'll be important when you stuff things up. You can just hit undo and have another go. Here we've got our icons to enable us to change the view of the window. So we can select, you've got orbit, pan, zoom, and flick between the different views as shown in that little wireframe icon there. So top view's great, plan's good, isometric's good, and you can go in and have a look at details on fronts and sides and whatever else. Over here you can change your view to wireframe and change some of the other things that you see on the screen. Finally, the guide, very handy, and also the create article button there for when you're nesting. Over on the far left here, we've got our 7 main toolbars that we can select between. So from the top down, we've got our drawing toolbar. So when you click on drawing, it'll bring up this second one, which enables you to start creating geometry there in your drawing and geometry window. Hit undo when you're done to back out. Once you've created something, you can then modify. In here, you've got 2D drawing tools and down the bottom, 3-dimensional creation tools. Drawing and creation tools, so you know how to create surfaces and different types and ways and methods of creating surfaces. Okay, your second one down here is your modify toolbar, and you can see in here, move, rotate, scale, all of those kind of things. So the kind of things you'd expect in a normal CAD program. We've got some handy ones in here. You can set Z levels in here somewhere. Create a container rectangle and a bunch of geometry. So things that are kind of more aimed at machining rather than at actual drawing. Now heading on down here, dimensioning and measurements. We won't use those a lot because we're not actually producing drawings with this. We're just trying to produce our machining, but you could actually produce drawings. This comes in handy if you're a bit confused about what's going on. Down here in position number 5, we have our favorite. This is our machining operations. So once you've got a piece created over here, you can start selecting the different machining operations and then set up whatever's going on in those. Create a macro or implement a macro onto an existing panel. And finally down here, the ways and means of setting up the machine. So we'll spend a lot of time in these top 2 in this machining one. The other one's not so much, but they're there when you need them. Down the bottom here, we have our variables toolbar, so you can flip that up and down, create new variables and save those. And you can flip that one down out of the way. Next to the variables, you've got your object snaps. So I can snap to endpoint. Really good for creating accurate geometry. And you can, with each drawing operation, you can select a different one. So find the midpoint there, and off I go there. Or you can set up some defaults in here too. So I've got that defaulted to the end, mid, and a few other bits and pieces. Go OK, and it'll automatically default to those when I've got this turned on. You can also snap to a grid. You can create an orthographic snap, so that will give you snaps that are at 45, 90, or the other increments around the axes there, or you can turn the snap on to snap to the grid as well. So if you've got grid snap on, you can see that purple grid in the background there, it'll snap to those. So use those as you need them, really handy for creating accurate drawings. If we keep working around, you can visualize some different things by turning them on and off. So tools, tool holders, rapids, and in here you can change the actual look of this screen. So I'd probably just leave those where they are. Up the top of our machining and geometries timelines here, we've got our piece creation, face selection, corner selection, creation of different faces, undo and delete of different faces. Here we've got our machining operations and geometry, so you can see the 4 geometries that I've created there. Now, if I'd created machining operations, they'd show up here as well. Then over here in the machining operations timeline, it gives you the opportunity to reorder your machining operations and get them going the way that you want them to. All right, so that's the overall environment. You're going to spend most of your time working in here and in here once you start to do some machining. Also, you'll need to be familiar with flipping between the different environments by selecting that one up the top there. And back to our CAD CAM. And that's about it. Don't forget, save early, save often. So make sure you know where save is, and when you start working on a new project, once you've been on it a minute or two, save that and then keep saving that as you go. Thanks for listening.